There comes a moment in every man's life where the excuses run dry, where the mask of potential shatters, and the mirror no longer flatters but reflects the truth without mercy. That moment is now. No more preparation, no more waiting, no more telling yourself you're getting ready. The time for change is not tomorrow, it is tonight. Not later, not eventually, now. Because the version of you that continues to stall is not just holding you back, he's slowly killing everything you were meant to become. He is the whisper that says, you'll start when you're ready. He is the one who scrolls, who hesitates, who intellectualizes dreams into non-existence. He lives in your spine when you slouch, in your voice when it lacks conviction, in your thoughts when you seek comfort instead of command. He dreams without demand. He speaks of goals but never meets the moment. He has opinions about greatness but has never bled for discipline. And yet you've let him live. You've fed him, protected him, defended his lies in the name of being realistic. That ends tonight. Because the man you were is not neutral. He is a thief. He has stolen time you can never get back. Years gone. Chances wasted. Purpose diluted. He has cost you more than fear ever could. And if you allow him one more breath, he will not stop until every ounce of your potential is buried beside your body. That version of you, the weak one, the drifter, the dreamer who never demands, must die tonight. This is not metaphor. This is execution. Understand this. The war has already begun. You are standing at the center of a battlefield where two versions of you are in violent opposition. On one side stands the man you've been familiar, afraid, fragile. He survives on delay, distraction, and doubt. He hides behind justification and survives off crumbs of comfort. On the other side is the man you were meant to be, undeniable, unshakable, unrelenting. He doesn't wait. He doesn't justify. He doesn't pause to ask permission. He builds, he leads, he decides. And right now, these two are fighting for dominance within the same body, within the same breath, within the same life, and only one will survive the night. The weak man, the one who hesitates, he's clever. He speaks in a tone that sounds like protection. He says, not yet. Let's make a plan. Let's gather more information. But in truth, he fears movement. He fears consequence. He fears exposure. Because if you ever truly acted, he would lose his power. And so he keeps you numb with comfort and drugs you with routine. He is not your friend. He is your captor. And every time you hesitate, you hand him the keys again. But the other man, the one who's been whispering beneath the noise, pounding on the inside of your chest, he is not patient. He's tired of watching you bow to weakness. He's not interested in someday. He doesn't want more information. He wants blood. He wants war. He wants the final breath of the man who's been pretending. And he is done asking. This is the moment where you choose. This is not entertainment. This is initiation. This is where the lines are drawn and your allegiance is declared. No more dabbling. No more motivation quotes saved in your phone with no action behind them. This is the point of no return. From this moment forward, there is no peace between you and your former self. You cannot keep him around and expect to build the future. You cannot carry both delay and discipline in the same mind. You will either become the man who leads or you will die the man who lingers. The world does not care about your potential. It does not reward you for what you think you could do. It responds only to who you become. And if you continue waiting, you will be replaced. The future will be built by men who decided while you were still doubting. And if you don't rise now, you'll spend the rest of your life watching them pass you by. You know who the weak man is. You know his pattern. You know how he shows up in your life: late starts, unfinished plans, vague goals, broken promises. You've lived with him. You've excused him. You've hidden behind his soft voice that says maybe tomorrow, and for what? So you could avoid discomfort, so you could delay rejection, so you could pretend safety was success. Comfort has never made a man, it has only ever buried them. Greatness begins where comfort ends, and the only thing standing between who you are and who you could be is the lie that there's still time. There isn't. Time is not on your side. Every hour you waste is ammunition given to your enemy. Every day you delay is another brick in the prison of mediocrity. So now we strip all illusions. You are not stuck, you are not trapped, you are simply undecided. And the man who cannot decide will be destroyed by those who can. Because this world is not kind to the hesitant. It does not bend for the maybe. It moves only for those who move first. It opens for those who demand it. It rewards the man who declares, I will not be this anymore. Tonight you declare war, not on the world, not on others, on the man you've been. This is execution, not negotiation. You are not here to coach him. You are not here to comfort him. You are here to kill him, because the life you want cannot be built on the corpse of indecision. Let the old self hear this. Your time is up. You've been carried long enough. You've spoken too loudly in the mind of a man who was born to lead. You've whispered excuses into a soul built for war. You've had your say, and now you are silenced. This is not for the faint. This is not for the maybe. This is for the man ready to command, ready to rise, ready to bury the beggar and build the builder. This is the reckoning. This is the death before rebirth. This is where it all changes, because you say it does. No more thinking, no more feeling, no more waiting. Decide. Let this moment be the first nail in the coffin of the man who could have, should have, almost did. He is gone, and in his place a new man is rising, not by chance but by command. Let the war begin. Every man has felt it. The hollow ache of time wasted, the weight of dreams deferred, the sting of knowing you could have done more, been more, built more, but didn't. That feeling isn't random. It is the echo of the weak man within, stealing from you in silence, not with violence, not with alarms, but with delay. He does not rob with a weapon. He robs with hesitation. He takes years by convincing you there's always tomorrow. He takes peace by flooding your nights with what-ifs. He takes opportunity by dressing it as risk. And worst of all, he takes your legacy by burying it beneath excuses. He speaks softly but with deadly precision. Not now, he says. Later will be better. You're not ready yet, and like a fool, you listen again and again. Each time you bow to that voice, another moment slips through your fingers. He doesn't shout. He doesn't have to. He whispers just enough to keep you still. And while you wait, life moves on. The doors you were meant to walk through close. The people you were meant to impact forget your name. And the man you were meant to become watches silently from a distance, wondering if you'll ever rise. Excuses are his language. Comfort is his currency. Blame is his shield. He will convince you that your pace is noble, that your struggle is unique, that your fear is wisdom. He will parade your delays as strategy, and you'll defend him as caution. But what he really is a liar, a subtle, seductive manipulator who feeds you enough doubt to keep you from breaking through. He is the engineer of regret, the architect of mediocrity, and the reason you feel behind even when you've worked hard, because he knows hard work means nothing if it's misdirected or delayed. And he is clever. He sells you potential like it's currency. He wraps the future in fantasy and calls it purpose. He paints beautiful visions in your mind, then traps you in the planning phase forever. He tells you that having a vision is enough, that knowing you could succeed one day is almost the same as actually doing it. And because you've held that image for so long, you start to believe that potential is proof. But potential without execution is nothing but imagination in chains. It's the graveyard of men who almost did. You weren't meant to almost succeed. You weren't meant to kind of build. You weren't meant to spend your life on pause, clinging to dreams with no foundation. You were meant to move boldly, decisively, relentlessly. But the weak man inside you has no interest in movement. He thrives in stall. He worships the word someday and builds altars to the comfort you never questioned. And as long as you let him speak, you will stay where you are, watching life through a window you were meant to break through. But within you is someone else, a darker, quieter force, not a dreamer, not a planner, not a thinker, an executioner. He's not interested in what could be. He's here for what must be. He is not moved by inspiration. He is moved by truth. And that truth is simple. The man delaying his rise is the man choosing his own destruction. The executioner has no patience for excuses. He has no tolerance for delay. His blade is decision, and his aim is finality. He does not entertain weakness. He eliminates it, and he is waking up. He has watched long enough. He has seen the opportunities ignored, the promises broken, the dreams untouched. He has waded through the scrolls, the distractions, the cycles of next week, and now he moves, quietly, powerfully, without permission. He is the self you must call forward now, the one who acts, the one who finishes, the one who demands results, not reassurance. The cost of delay has been too high. You have paid with time you cannot buy back. You have sacrificed peace for comfort. You have traded fulfillment for familiarity, but no more. From this moment, the weak man has no seat at the table. His reign ends here. His whispers are silenced, and the executioner takes command, not gently, not slowly, but with full force and final clarity. The weak man stole your time. Now it's time to steal it back. Not with hope, with action, with decision, with discipline. Let the reckoning continue. Every transformation demands a death, not a symbolic one, a real, deliberate, merciless execution of the identity that no longer serves you. Growth isn't gentle. It does not happen while you hold hands with your former self. It happens when you take the blade of decision and strike, not because you hate who you were, but because he cannot go where you're going. The man who hesitated, the one who excused, the one who waited for perfect timing, he has lived long enough, and now he must die. This is not a metaphor for motivation. This is the moment before the blade drops. You are not redesigning him. You are not healing him. You are not fixing him. You are killing him. He had his chance. He whispered every excuse. He wore your name. He walked with your feet. He breathed your air. But all he ever did was shrink in the face of risk. All he ever offered was delay disguised as logic. All he ever gave you were broken starts and unfinished days. And now, with the silence of full intent, you begin the ritual of removal. The mind must be cleared like a battlefield. No prisoners, no negotiation. When you declare war on the weak self, there is no court of appeals. He cannot argue. He cannot apologize. He cannot explain. He is not owed forgiveness. He is owed only an ending, because to allow even 1 inch of him to remain is to keep failure on standby. One excuse left alive is one door left open for retreat, and a man who leaves a door cracked for the past will never fully arrive in the future. You have lived as 2 men, one who speaks of greatness, one who lives in hesitation, and tonight the latter dies, not by accident, not by hope, but by decision. This is the blade. I do not need more time. I do not need more reassurance. I do not need another reason. I need only this, the clear understanding that if he stays, I cannot rise. You do not bury the old self with a prayer. You bury him with repetition, with new language, with disciplined action. You bury him with the way you walk, the way you breathe, the way you stop explaining yourself. This is not a transformation made of thought. It is a transformation made of execution. You must become someone your past self wouldn't even recognize, and you do that by killing him completely. Tonight, let there be no emotion. Let there be no eulogy. He is not a loss. He is a weight. He is not a memory. He is a virus. He was never a friend. He was a passenger on your potential, draining your strength while offering nothing in return. Now you cut him off, and you walk alone into the identity that builds rather than delays. Stand up in your mind. Face the version of you that has stalled your future. Look him in the eye and say it. The former me is no longer welcome here. Not tomorrow. Not after you've figured it out. Not when you're ready. Now. This is the ritual. This is the death. This is the moment your future begins, not as a hope, but as a command. 1 man leaves. 1 man rises. Let the execution begin. Everything begins with decision, not talent, not motivation, not confidence. Decision, the act of drawing a line so sharp it slices through hesitation. The moment when a man no longer flinches at discomfort but walks into it with clarity. Most wait to feel ready. Most think change will come when emotion arrives. But emotion is a wave, unreliable, unpredictable. Decision is the anchor. It is the one power that needs no permission, no evidence, no audience. It requires only finality. The man who changes is not the one who prepares the longest. It is the one who decides the clearest. No fallback, no half measures, no just-in-case versions of himself tucked in his pocket. Decision, real decision, leaves no space for the old self to breathe. It is not a mood. It is not a phase. It is a full severance from the identity that used to beg for clarity. And once it's made, there is no going back. Lincoln made that decision, not when he stood on stages, but when he sat alone, face to face with his own doubt. The world saw the president, the leader, the speechmaker, but the real power was forged in the dark moments, when he buried the version of himself that leaned into sorrow and silence. He chose duty over comfort. That decision was quiet, private, but final. It created a man who stood when others begged him to sit. Carnegie did the same. The boy who arrived poor did not wait to feel powerful. He decided. He decided before he had proof. He decided before they believed in him. And he buried the small identity with daily action. He built steel, but before that he built certainty. Not the kind that comes from applause, the kind that comes from a vow spoken in silence. I will not remain this man. Decision is not found. It is forged. You write it like a contract. You say it like a law. And once it is written, it governs everything. Your thoughts, your tone, your movement. There can be no more dabbling, no more halfway beliefs, no more trying just enough to say you tried. You decide now, not with your feelings, with your will. Write it, say it, burn it into the walls of your mind. I decide. I do not delay. I do not explain. I act. Let this sentence become the governing law of your existence. No exit, no excuse, no debate. This is the first act of power. The day the world begins to bend is not the day others believe in you. It is the day you believe in your decision enough to never look back. You are not born with an identity. You build it. You shape it in the furnace of repetition. Every action you take, every word you speak, every thought you allow, these are and brick by brick, they become the walls of who you are. Identity is not fate, it is architecture, and the man who understands that is no longer a prisoner of personality. He becomes the engineer of self. The weak man waits for change to feel natural. The builder knows change feels unnatural first, and does it anyway. Repetition is the master sculptor. You do not think your way into a new identity. You act your way into one, again, and again, and again, until the old self is overwritten by action too consistent to ignore. This is what Napoleon Hill called the cosmic habit force, the law beneath all laws, the principle that whatever is repeated, whether powerful or pathetic, will eventually take root in the subconscious and become self. If you feed weakness, you become it. If you feed discipline, you become it. Your brain does not judge. It only installs what you run. And most men are running programs written by fear, comfort, and memory. But the truth is, the brain is programmable. It is not fixed. It is not permanent. It is not loyal to your past. It is loyal only to what you do consistently. The man who acts with power, even before he believes in himself, eventually becomes the man who believes in himself because of how he acts. The loop begins with action, not belief, not emotion, action. You are not reciting affirmations. You are writing code. You are installing a new identity, line by line, day by day, rep by rep, not for motivation, for reconstruction. The old program said wait. The new one says build. The old program said think about it. The new one says move now. Say it, write, repeat it. I am the man who builds, not the man who waits. Again, I am the man who builds, not the man who waits. You are not trying to believe it. You are becoming it. This is the architecture. This is the process. This is how the mind is made new. Through deliberate, disciplined, repeated declaration and execution. Your identity is not behind you. It is under construction. Every decision you make lays the next brick. Build well. Repetition is not a technique. It is a weapon. One strike may awaken you, but only repetition reshapes you. The men who change the world do not rely on willpower alone. They use daily phrases like chisels, carving truth into their subconscious until obedience becomes automatic. They do not wait for belief to arrive. They create belief by force, through relentless daily programming. Hope does nothing without pattern. The subconscious mind does not respond to your excitement. It does not respond to your desperation. It only responds to what is repeated over and over until the line between thought and identity disappears. This is not about hype. This is about war. Internal, structured, methodical war against the old code running your life. Say it until your bones obey it. Say it when you don't feel it. Say it when it sounds fake. Say it until it becomes the most natural thing you've ever known. This is the reprogramming, not mystical, mechanical, not random, ritual. Thoughts lead to words. Words lead to posture. Posture leads to habits. Habits define identity. Identity drives destiny. You begin at the root. Build your mantra, not long, not poetic, just undeniable, just sharp enough to cut through doubt. Repeat it daily until it becomes command, not affirmation. Installation. Choose the words that reflect the man you are becoming, not the one you are replacing. Then speak them until you no longer question them. This begins now. A 7-day protocol. Each morning speak the identity. Each night repeat it with presence. During the day walk in alignment with it. No breaks, no skips, no second thoughts. The old self will resist. He will mock the new language. Let him. He is dying, and every repetition is another nail in his coffin. This is the weapon. This is how builders rise, not with bursts of fire, but with fire repeated daily until it melts everything false inside of you. Your mind is not a mystic field. It's a battlefield. And if you do not take command of it, something else will. Doubt, fear, weak memories. All of them stand ready to issue orders if you do not. The mind must be trained like a soldier with discipline, with clarity, with repetition. It does not follow the truth by default. It follows the voice that speaks the most and the loudest. Make sure that voice is yours. You are not your thoughts, but your thoughts are shaping you. They stack, they compound, they become belief, then identity, then action, then outcome. You cannot fake your destiny. You trace it back through the thoughts you chose to obey. And if you let your mind run wild, if you let it repeat every doubt it's absorbed from the world, you will become a reflection of everything you were never meant to be. Command is not optional. It is survival. You must speak before thought speaks for you. You must break the silence of your mornings with orders, not hope, not passive reflection. Orders. Loud, clear, non-negotiable commands spoken from the man you are becoming, not the one you are burying. Begin the day by framing the battlefield. I lead my mind. I train it. I feed it. I protect it. Speak it like a drill sergeant speaking to a recruit. Because that's exactly what your mind is, a soldier waiting for orders. And the orders must come from you. In the evening, repeat, not softly, not poetically, as reinforcement, as lock-in, as confirmation that the mind you trained this morning did not wander without discipline. Close the night the way a warrior sheathes his blade, with honor, with sharpness, with full control. Thought does not get the final word. You do. Because thought is not king. Command is, and the man who commands his mind commands his reality. The loop is simple. Thought becomes identity. Identity fuels action. Action shapes destiny. But thought only becomes identity if it's repeated with authority. That authority is yours to claim. Speak like a leader. Think like a builder. Move like a man who answers only to conviction. I lead my mind. I train it. I feed it. I protect it. That is the law. That is the posture. That is the beginning of mental dominance. You are not here to be at the mercy of passing ideas. You are here to train your mind into a weapon, and that training begins now. Weakness hides in language, not in volume, not in tone, but in the quiet hesitation of soft words. Maybe, someday, hopefully, realistic. These are not harmless expressions. They are weapons of slow decay. Every time they leave your mouth, they bend your spine a little more. They train your mind to expect nothing, to commit to nothing, to drift instead of move. The man who uses them is not confused. He's conditioned, and that conditioning ends now. Language builds mindset, and mindset builds reality. You cannot live with power while speaking in permission slips. The world does not respond to vague intentions. It responds to conviction. Your vocabulary is your spine. If it bends, you will. If it stands firm, you will. Words are not accessories. They are commands to the subconscious. Speak like a man who means it, or do not speak at all. Rip out the words that weaken. Eliminate them like threats. Maybe becomes I will. Hopefully becomes I decide. Realistic becomes required. There is no room for drift in a life built on discipline. Replace the language of chance with the language of control. Decision, duty, clarity, discipline. These are your new pillars. Let them echo in every sentence until weakness has no place to hide. Start conducting verbal audits. Every night, replay your day through the filter of language. Where did you speak as a builder? Where did you slip? What words betrayed your mission? This is not paranoia. This is precision. Most men drift not because of major failures, but because they let soft words become habits. Audit, adjust, replace. Now practice. Take a day in the life of your new self and rewrite it in the language of power. He doesn't say, I'll try to wake up early. He says, I wake at 5 hours, because that's who I am. He doesn't say, I hope I stay He says, I execute whether I feel like it or not. He doesn't explain delays. He doesn't ask for validation. He speaks like a man already inside the future he's building, because he is. Your words are tools. Sharpen them. Use them with intent. Speak like every sentence is a blueprint, because it is. Destroy the language of weakness. Construct the language of war. The new man is not a concept. He is a construction. He is built in pieces, each habit, each movement, each word a brick. You do not find him. You do not wait for him. You build him. Every detail matters. The way you stand, the way you speak, the way you walk into a room. Posture is not posture. It is declaration. Tone is not sound. It is strategy. Pace is not rhythm. It is intent. Rituals are not routines. They are evidence of identity. You are no longer allowed to live by accident. See him, the man you are becoming, the one who moves with certainty, the one who no longer flinches when discomfort enters the room. Walk like him now. Speak like him now. Breathe like him now. Do not visualize him as a hope. Visualize him as instruction. You are the architect, and your brain is the construction site. Every repetition lays concrete. Every disciplined act seals the structure. Weakness dissolves in design. Design the blueprint. Write it. Not abstract theory. Concrete values. What do you stand for? What systems do you follow daily, regardless of mood? What are your non-negotiables? The rules that do not bend under pressure, that do not disappear when you're tired, distracted, or alone. The new man does not improvise identity. He follows it, by code, by structure, by oath. The old self was ruled by emotion. This one is ruled by execution. Emotion can visit, but it does not govern. Fear can knock, but it is not let in. Discomfort can rise, but it does not rewrite the plan. Repeat it, stamp it, install it. I am not what I feel. I am what I repeat. Let that line kill the illusion that growth depends on energy. It doesn't. It depends on loyalty to process. The new man is forged by boring things done with relentless precision. He shows up when it's quiet. He repeats when no one is watching. He follows through without the reward. Because for him, the act is the identity. The system is the proof. The build is the belief. No one builds for him. No one installs the code. No one lays the bricks. That's your job. And it starts with what you repeat now, daily, without fail, without drama, with discipline. Sleep is not an escape. It is reinforcement. It is not the reward for surviving the day. It is the final tool in your arsenal. The subconscious mind does not shut down when you close your eyes. It opens, it listens, it processes whatever you leave behind. And most men fall asleep replaying their worries, doubts, failures. They unknowingly program weakness. They reinforce hesitation, but not you. Not anymore. You use sleep as strategy. You train the mind to carry your identity even while unconscious. You give it orders, not questions. You give it clarity, not chaos. And that begins with the final thoughts protocol. You do not end your day in randomness. You end it in ritual. You speak with precision. You tell your mind what to remember, what to become, what to build, because repetition is installation, and sleep is when installation goes deepest. Your final words are not small. They are sacred. You do not scroll. You do not drift. You speak quietly, if needed, but clearly. You say who you are, where you are going, and what you do. You affirm your standards, your path, your power. You do not plead for change. You confirm it. You do not review mistakes. You reinforce mastery. Your last thoughts must be a message to the man you are becoming. Say it and mean it. I sleep as the man I have become, not the one I was. That sentence is not decoration. It is declaration. It tells your mind to let the old self rot and to let the new self rise, even in rest. It draws a line in the sand. No more regression in the dark. No more waking up in the mindset you buried. You sleep as strategy. You sleep with command. And when you wake, you do not start over. You continue forward, because the work does not pause when your eyes close. It deepens. The weak man is not buried once. He rises the moment you let him. He waits for hesitation. He feeds on delay. Every day is a battlefield, and every decision is a sword or a shovel. You either keep him buried or you dig him back up. There is no neutral ground, no rest between wars. The old self does not retire. He waits quietly, silently, patiently for your discipline to break. And when it does, even for a moment, he returns with a smile. The war is not dramatic. It is quiet. It lives in small decisions. Wake up or hit snooze. Train or make excuses. Speak truth or shrink back. Each moment builds the future or resurrects the past. Discipline is not punishment. It is protection. It is loyalty to your future self. Every time you delay, you betray him. Every time you choose drift over direction, you hand the weak man your weapons and invite him back into power. The battlefield is everywhere. In your phone, in your food, in your thoughts, in your calendar. Decision versus delay, discipline versus drift. There is no enemy out there more dangerous than the one you've already outgrown, but still occasionally listened, and the only way to silence him for good is not once, but daily, through decisions made without negotiation, through habits honored like law, through standards held like shields. You do not enter the day casually. You enter with posture, with a line burned into your mind, louder than distraction, louder than doubt. Today I do not drift. I build. Speak it, walk with it, write it. Let it be the first strike on the battlefield. Let it echo before your first action, and let it shape everything after. The weak man is not dead, but he is buried. And each day you choose to build, you keep him there. You were not born broken. You were born blank. What you've carried all these years, the hesitation, the confusion, the drift, none of it is who you are. It's just what you were never taught to destroy. You were untrained, not unworthy. The old patterns are not your nature. They are your inheritance. But inheritance is not destiny. Identity is not handed down. It is built, carved, chosen, installed. You do not wait for transformation. You execute it. You speak with force, because soft words never built a future. You move with clarity, because guesswork is a weapon of the weak. You think with design, because randomness creates nothing worth keeping. You no longer react. You architect. You no longer wish, you build. The beggar is gone, deleted, erased. The one who waited for motivation, for permission, for perfect timing, he no longer exists. You do not ask for change. You command it. You install the builder, the one who acts, repeats, refines, and never disappears. You have chosen this identity, and now it obeys you. Say it. Let it settle in your blood. My future belongs to the version of me I install through thought, repetition, and action, not the one who feels ready. not the one who waits, the one who installs, daily, relentlessly, on purpose, with pressure. Now silence, stand in it. Let the noise die. Let the old self dissolve. Let the new one root itself. No more explanations, no more hesitation, just installation. This is the exit, not a goodbye, an initiation complete. Affirm one final time. I build, I command, I install. My future follows my repetition. The man I've decided to become is already here. Then nothing, just silence. Let it settle, let it burn, let it begin.